Montego will look to remain number 1 at Hall. Portmore will face another powerful foe at Arnetta, and the JPL returns to local free-to-air TV. All this and more on this Match Week 11 preview show. Yes, welcome back to Jamaica Fun, and with Cavalier gearing up for their big Caribbean Cup final match this Tuesday, we only have 6 matches this match week. But we have some pretty epic matchups, so let's get started right away. Mount Pleasant versus Montego Bay. It took a last gaps goal from Edwards to spare the blushes of Mount Pleasant and Tapa Whitmore last time out, but their fans are feeling a bit anxious about their recent form. The Stoosh in the Bush only has 2 wins in their last 5 matches and is not exactly looking like the team that took home the regular season crown last season. And things aren't getting easier as one of the more informed teams, Montego Bay United, rolls into town this weekend. Mobe are currently 7 unbeaten, and with their 4-0 victory over Racing last week, they are displaying that they may have figured out the attack to go with their stellar defense. The return of Jordan Fletcher has been key to that, and it will be interesting to see if Sabata stick to his all-out 4-prong attack in St. Anne. Mount Pleasant will be hoping to withstand any Mobe onslaught, but would have to do it without their gritty midfielder Shajan Anglin, who is suspended. Fully expect a midfield pivot of McCullough and Shaw to provide cover with former Mobe number 10 Ferreira missing out. In their last meeting at Hall, both teams shared the spoils with a 1-1 draw. It's a must-watch this time around, with Mount Pleasant hosting Montego Bay United 3 p.m. this Sunday. Portmore versus Waterhouse. One team that will be hoping Montego Bay slips up is second place Waterhouse. They currently sit behind Mobe only on goal difference as they continue to fly under the radar. The lethal partnership of Bygrave and Brian is getting better and better, and head coach Marcel Gill must be delighted with the contribution his bench has provided so far this season. Rudolph Austin and Portmore, on the other hand, are facing a brand new challenge. After having their 7-game unbeaten run snap in a crushing fashion at home to Arnett, it will be interesting to see how they respond with another Big 6 team visiting. Portmore fans should be nervous about the health of top defender Stephen Young after he left last week much early due to injury. However, they should welcome back defender Duxley, who was away on international duty last time out. The last time these two faced each other at Arnetta Park, it ended 0-0. But I just can't see that happening this time around when Portmore United hosts Waterhouse FC this Sunday at 3 p.m. Tivoli Gardens versus Harbour View.
You dip into the transfer market?
You will have to dip in the transfer market because most of these players already show you what they have, and I don't think it's good enough.
Tivoli may be in that state of panic. A 2-1 loss midweek to Dumbarton now leaves the men from West Kingston with a record of only 1 win in 10 games. A massive contrast to last season when they had 18 points and 5 wins at the exact same point last season. No question that they started this campaign slowly, but I felt they have been playing better in the last couple of weeks. However, massive individual errors, especially in goal, has cost them dearly in recent matches. Long-time starting goalkeeper Diogo Orton lost his spot in goal due to errors, but his replacement, Nicholas Clark, has been even worse. Now they face a team that had their own goalkeeping issues earlier this season. Harbour head coach Butcher Henry made his own goalkeeper move, replacing Palmer with Vere, and the young Surinese player was vital in their 0-0 draw with Cavalier. But goal scoring is another problem for the Stars of the East, and they may have no other choice but to wait till January to throw money at the problem. In their last encounter, Tivoli squeezed by Harbour 1-0, and they would absolutely take that score again in a heartbeat, but we will all have to wait and see when Tivoli hosts Harbour this Sunday at Stadium East. Humberline versus Dumbarton. Speaking of Tivoli, the last team to defeat them was Dumbarton, who once again proved that they are unstoppable at their sports complex. But their horrible away form has holding them back from the top 6, and they will be tested once again with a trip to Clarendon. Humberline are the host team, and they started the season with a pretty decent home record, but things are turning sour as the Lions have now lost 3 in a row, with 2 of those being at home. I guess the silver lining is that those losses came against the current top 4 teams, so Dumbarton provides a great chance of getting vital 3 points for the Lions. Even better, Humber Lion has not lost to Dumbarton in 3 matches, and when you throw in the fact that they have an awful away record, Dookie's team should feel extremely disappointed if they end Sunday without a victory. But football is not played on paper, so it's all to play for when Humber Lion hosts Dumbarton 3 p.m. this weekend. Mullines United versus Racing United. Both teams were struggling, both teams were side by side in relegation, and both teams pulled off a massive wins this week. It could be argued Racing's victory was the more impressive of the two after using a quote-unquote bus to get a result at home to Cavalier. They may be struggling to score goals, but in that victory they displayed just how united they can be in defense and will need to be so again if they have any chance of staying up this season. Mullines weren't to be outdone after defeating Dumbarton last week to snap a 5-game winning streak of their own. Getting some goals is one thing, but head coach Jermaine Thomas should be absolutely delighted with a clean sheet last week and will hope his team repeat the trick again against Racing. I will be absolutely shell-shocked if there's any unforced changes to their lineup when they play Racing this Monday night at 5 p.m. Arnett versus Vere Phoenix United. Roughly a month ago, there were some junglists that wanted head coach Xavier Gilbert gone. How he and his team have shut those guys up. Arnett are currently on a 3-game winning streak and a 6-match undefeated, playing some exquisite football along the way. We no longer ask where's Fabian Reid, as Golden Boot leader Warner Brown has given us all amnesia. Now they return home to in front of their own hostile fans for the visit of Vere Phoenix United. Hyde's army has been playing better lately with more and more of their mono players introduced to the starting lineup, but that juggling act continues at least for another week with mono advancement in the Walker Cup. They also may have a problem with the number 9 position, with fans losing patience with Trinidadian Josiah Daniel after his many misses in front of goal recently. Their last meeting saw the Junglists narrowly leaving Clarendon with a 1-0 win, so it'll be interesting to see what's in store for us this time when Arnett Gardens host Vere Phoenix United 7:30 p.m. this Monday. Alright, that's it for our preview, but before I get to my prediction, let's look at some local news and the community poll.
We're happy to announce here for the first time live that CVM TV will be the official broadcast partner of the Jamaica Premier League.
The Jamaican Premier League is coming to free-to-air TV. PFJL CEO Owen Hill brought the news on CVM that the local station will now broadcast 58 live matches, including the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final, starting this Sunday, November 24th. No word yet if these will be separate matches from those being shown on Sportsmax, but it is thrilling news nonetheless. The Reggae Boys now know their next opponents as they were drawn to play fellow Caribbean nation St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the Gold Cup preliminaries. We will host the first leg in Kingston before traveling for the away leg a few days later. The winner of this qualifies for the 2025 Gold Cup group stages. And finally, the Reggae Girls will face South Africa in 2 matches here in Jamaica starting on November 29th. Here's the squad on the screen that head coach Busby has called up for the fixtures. Alright, that's it for the news. Now it's time for a community poll where I ask you guys, with the recently announced CVM broadcasting news, what is your preferred method of watching JPL matches? And kinda not surprising, majority of you guys say mobile via the Sportsmax app. Sure, it is convenient that, a cell phone can be in your pocket and go anywhere with you, so you can watch a game at any chance you get. But I wanted that at venue percentage to be a little bit higher. Trust me, it's nothing like watching good JPL matches in the venues with these type of Jamaican crowds. But alright, that's it for the community poll. Time for the predictions. Alright, Mount Pleasant versus Montego United. Very tricky, but Mobe are simply on some great form right now, and their front 4 are firing. So I see this as Mount Pleasant 1, Montego Bay 2. Portmore versus Waterhouse. This could be another close game like Portmore versus Arnett. And I think Portmore will rectify a bit. They won't lose this one, I think. It will be Portmore 1, Waterhouse 1. Tivoli versus Harbour. Man, you kind of feel like this is a game Tivoli just can't afford to lose. And 2 things can happen after Jerome Wade comments. Is either the team falls or they get angry and play for the badge. But Harbour is no pushover, so I'm thinking this could be Tivoli Gardens 1, Harbour 1. Humber Lion versus Dumbarton. To be honest, this is a hard game to call. Humber Lion is on poor form, but Dumbarton are just not that good on the road. I think Humberline sneak this one actually. I can see Humberline win this 1-0 over Dunfermline. Malines United versus Racing United. Alright, I think this is a game you guys should not miss. I think it's going to be end to end. But Racing does have an issue of scoring more than 1 goals. But Malines does have some poor defense in a way. This might end up be Malines 2, Racing United 2. And finally, Arnett Guns versus Vere Phoenix United. Alright, this game should be very open, I believe. I can go very back and forth. But I think Arnett, they're going to shade it. And I'll give Arnett the 2-1 win over Vere Phoenix United. But alright guys, that's all I got from this match week 11 preview show. Should be some great matches on hand, especially at Portmore versus Waterhouse and Arnett versus Vere, Mount Pleasant versus Montego. Some big matches coming up. Let me know in the comment section below your predictions for this week. And please remember to like, subscribe and share as we look to keep you up to date on all things in the Jamaican Premier League leading up to the final in May. Otherwise, keep it locked here for great JPL content. JPL fan. YouTube, pick up yourself.